watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to Let's Talk Business. My name is Kelly Bolton, and thank you for tuning in as we have the distinct pleasure of hosting our community's foremost leaders, entrepreneurs, and civic heroes. We're thrilled today to have Courtney Jones and Amy Bingham, owners of Oh Grate, as our guests today. It's likely that there's never been a better time than now to own a business that provides food delivery service. When businesses create wonderful, wholesome meals to families during a pandemic, it's a win-win for them as well as their customers who don't want to risk going out and dining in restaurants or spending time in stores. Because of COVID, Courtney and Amy join us remotely from their kitchen. So please welcome us as I welcome Amy and Courtney to our show. Thank you for joining us. And tell me a little bit about who you are and what is Oh Grate.
Well, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate y'all having us on this show. And I'm Amy, and this is Courtney. We started Oh Grate in 2019, just kind of by chance. I'm a mom of 4 and was kind of used to preparing food in bulk and freezing it because we've got busy lives. And Courtney can tell you her story, but we're friends, and we were out to breakfast, and she used to own a restaurant and kind of came up with this idea of Oh Grate. And we just kind of started talking about it and started making food, and then it just started taking off, and we realized that we had a really good business concept here, that we could really help other busy families and busy moms. I personally am not that great of a cook, so if you could tell me that I was going to have food, homemade good food prepared for me, and all I have to do is put it in the oven every night, and I could get my family around the dinner table and enjoy a home-cooked meal that I didn't even have to make, then I was here for that. And to think that we could help others like me was intriguing to me. And so it kind of just started happening. And it's been really exciting.
Well, and I love the name. I love the name. I don't know who came up with it, but it is perfect. Courtney, what about you? What's your story, and how did you decide to join Amy on this journey?
Well, so my background, I once owned a restaurant, and I'd sold that and became very bored very quickly and was making meals for a few friends. And so Amy and I, again, we were at breakfast and we started discussing this and how this could really be turned into a business. And it did. It just took off. I kind of accidentally. Then we needed to name it, and you brought that up. So our whole goal was to make life easier for moms. That's what initially our reasoning was in all of this. And then we decided what a blessing to really make moms able to get around the table and enjoy dinner, for it not to be a chore. And all the complaints we get at the dinner table. So yes. My son, his name's Axel, and it seemed like no matter what, whether it's good, something he liked, whether it's bad, something he doesn't like, whatever I would tell him we're having for dinner, he would say, "Oh, great." So I felt like it could be just, it goes both ways. It can be, "Oh, great, that's good," or "Oh, great."
Yeah, I love it.
So here we are. Oh, great.
Oh, I love it. Oh, great. That is awesome. Well, I will tell you, I know, Amy, you said you weren't a great cook, but whatever you're doing, your food is to die for. And I will just, the purpose of the show is not to give a plug for a business. It's to find out about your business. But I will tell you, you were so helpful to me when you first started, and I had a daughter that was a senior in high school, and the schedule was insane, and I worked full time, and the food was phenomenal. And it's one thing to get a casserole that's frozen, that's pre-prepared, that you put in your freezer, and you pull it out and you go, okay, it's done, and I'll add some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna figure out a way to doctor this up. You don't have to do that. Your food was so good. It was flavorful. it's just delicious. So I just want to thank you for that from my standpoint, for not only making it easy, but then making it where it actually, I don't have to do any doctoring to it. It's already delicious. So that's great. And one thing I did notice, because when my daughter went off to school, all of a sudden you got less of a mouth to feed, and she was so busy. It was so nice to have that. But I noticed, and I thought, I really need to get back to doing this again, is that I don't have to buy the serving quantity for, 8 people or 4 people. I can buy smaller serving quantities, which is wonderful too. So you tell us a little bit, the audience, about when this pandemic started, what changed, and I'll speak to what I know changed. And then you tell me what you saw. Talking to one of my work colleagues who actually arranged the show for you, all of a sudden she was a mother and she was homeschooling, and the kids were in the kitchen and she was on a computer next to her, and the kids were wanting food, and she goes, I'm going to go back and order from Oh Grate, but and she has been using it and just loved it. So tell me what your experience has been during the pandemic and how y'all have kind of navigated through that.
Well, that's a good question, Kelly. I mean, as business owners, we had a strategic plan, and we had plans for Oh Grate, but no one could have planned for this pandemic. But we were actually set up perfectly for this scenario. And not that we would have ever imagined or dreamed that, but we were already offering our services online with a delivery, with no contact delivery, something that not the whole population was really used to when we first started. But now it's so common, but our system was already set up for that. And so last March, we were able to serve people very quickly. And another important thing was that, you kind of touched on this, was the different sizes that we were offering, because you had a whole population of people, of older people who couldn't get out of their homes. And we were able to use our small portions. That has been amazing, because there are so many people that are buying for their parents who can't get to the grocery store or don't need to be getting out right now. So, I mean, a lot of it is just, thankfully our business started when it did, and we're able to serve people during the pandemic. So
that is wonderful.
Absolutely. It has changed in a lot of ways, but our basic model has really stayed the same, of what we're offering. And we also offer options we have freezers in local stores. So we have 6 stores that are kind of our grab and go locations. If you forget to order online, you can go pick them up. Well, because they had food there at their store, they were allowed to stay open during the pandemic. So I feel like we were able to help other local small businesses during a crisis time last year as well.
We're going to pause for just a moment. We're going to take a short commercial break, so please stick around.
GHS-TV started in 1982, and it was just a couple of cameras, a couple of on-air personality, and it's really grown into what you see today. It's a multi-million-dollar studio with top-of-the-line technology.
Being able to operate, all of the machinery in the control room, being able to use all of our software and hardware that we have around the studio is a great skill, because this is top-of-the-line equipment.
I feel like this class has brightened my horizon. It's something that I never thought I would be doing, especially as a student.
GHS-TV is probably one of the most hands-on experiences a student will ever get in their lifetime.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. Nothing really has just the vibe that we have here.
Especially after you finished, you get a real rush of, wow, I just did that.
By the time a student graduates from Germantown High School, they will know pretty much every position there is, from producing to directing to on-air work.
You learn time management, you learn organization, you learn how to work with people, how to better communicate with people.
We put a lot on them, and they have to be able to have the responsibility and the knowledge to get everything that we ask them.
I had very little experience, so in the past 3 years, the skills that I've learned have absolutely exponentially grown.
The class has actually helped me figure out that I want to go to college for journalism.
When a student graduates, they are the best possible version of themselves that they can be.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. If you're just tuning in, I am Kelly Bolton, and today we have the distinct pleasure of talking with Amy Bingham and Courtney Jones, owner of Oh Grate, a home-based meal delivery service. And when I say home-based, we're going to dive into that a little bit further. As we operate in a COVID world, Amy and Courtney are joining us remotely, so join me as I welcome them back to the program. Thank you, Amy and Courtney. I appreciate it. And I want to continue our discussion about the meals in the freezers in locations, because I know everybody's going to want to know where to get it. And then we're going to talk about this home-based meal delivery service. It's home-based, meaning it's delivered to your home. You started out of your home, but now you personally have a different home base. So why don't we start with the food that you can deliver to the home. You can buy it from different stores that have it in their freezer. Talk to us a little bit about those methods that people can get your food.
Yes, so our customers order on our website, www.oh-grate.com. They place their order, and within 2 to 4 days, their food is delivered to their door. We ask that they leave a cooler out. If they can't, then we have cooler bags available for them to purchase. But you can also grab and go with our food in 6 different stores across the Memphis area. That is a really convenient choice for a lot of folks who you need dinner that night and you forgot to order online and you don't have your freezer stocked full of food. We do recommend that you stock your freezer for food so that you can have plenty to go and grab it whenever. But if you're running home from work and you need dinner on the table, or if you need to take a meal to someone, you can stop by one of these convenient locations and purchase right there in the local stores. And we love partnering with these local stores. We love shopping local and supporting local. So it really is a win-win for everyone.
That's wonderful. Well, Courtney, what stores or can people pick up food in? Can you give us an example of a few stores?
Sure. We have S.Y. Wilson in Arlington. We have Southern Vintage in Bartlett. We have Crossroads, which is in Mississippi in Olive Branch. And we have some other locations that can be found on our website. And it's such a great thing because it not only, we all know when you support a small business, it helps our families. And we have 4 other cooks in the kitchen with us, and it helps their families. But our reach goes far beyond that, because if we consider every store we're in and all of those people, that it just helps so many families. It's just been such a blessing. And I think the pandemic has really shown us how far our reach can really be in that regard, just generosity and just blessing others. And we didn't realize how our business was truly set up for that until the pandemic came along. And it's just been such a wonderful blessing for so many. We're
That's
so grateful
wonderful.
for that.
It is, when you think about, obviously, when I first found you, there was no pandemic, and you were built for something like this. Have you had a hard time getting product? Because I know for a while, for the individual, it was hard to find certain things. Meat was on short supply. Have you found during this time that there has been some difficulties in purchasing?
Yes, lots of difficulty. We've had to go to multiple stores to find ingredients that otherwise we never would have imagined being an issue. We're very lucky in that we were able to really stock up on a whole lot of things whenever we did find them. And so we use a food company that delivers here as well. And so they were able to really help us out during that time. But some ingredients that we do prefer to get locally, it was a struggle.
Right. Well, I know y'all obviously have a huge heart for what you do. It started out because you have a heart for it. And obviously, Courtney, you were in the food service business and got back into it. But I know you're both very generous. And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about what they do being generous, but I'm just interested in and how kind of your generosity it plays into part of your business, because I think that's probably what makes you so successful, because you have a heart for what you do, you love what you do, and it's actually you're delivering a product that's needed and wanted and appreciated.
Yes, that's, I guess, when anybody has a major event happen in their life or in their family, people generally bring food. But with us, we feel like you're not obligated to eat it then. You don't have to worry about it going bad. It just can go in the freezer. So it really makes it easy. So the person on the receiving end they can eat it when it's convenient for them. Also, we started this program inspired by the movie Pay It Forward. We have our own Pay It Forward campaign, and we chose a recipient just at random. We chose someone. Actually, we did a little thing on our Facebook page where everybody got to nominate someone, and then we all went through here at Oh Grate, and we chose the one that we felt was most deserving, although they all were, of our chicken pot pie. And so we sent it to them with a little note that then they got to choose. They'd been blessed with this chicken pot pie, and now they got to choose the next person. And they did. And so it's just continued for every person that is gifted the pot pie. We deliver it to them, and then they are notified in that they get to choose the next person, whoever they want, whoever they feel is deserving of a free meal. And it's on us. We just send it to the next person. So it's been
nice. Very nice. I love it. And I know there was something about, I had a note that 25% of your sales the last 3 months have been gifts for other people. Tell me about that.
Well, it's kind of a quarantine type of a package. If you know someone who is sick or really can't get out, we've offered these packages that come in one of our cooler bags with 4 different items in it, usually a breakfast item and 3 entrees at a really good price. And we deliver it in the cooler bag. So it makes a great gift if you know someone who is quarantined or is even worse, ill. So I think people have really caught on to that, because there's a lot of things we can't do right now during this time, getting together, so people don't know what to do to help in a situation, but sending food we've tried to make it as easy as possible, and it's a big win. I mean, people get pretty excited that they have food delivered that's prepared at their doorstep for them. So it really does make a great gift. And like I said, we try to make it as easy as possible for the customer. They can just go on, order it, and they can say, include a note, and we will put a note in there of telling them who it's from. And then it shows up at their friend or their parents or a teacher. It's a great teacher gift at their doorstep. So it's people have really caught on to that idea right now. And
that's wonderful.
We love it. We encourage that. We want the gift of the food to be a blessing as well.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you. If you stay with us just a moment, we're going to pause and take another short break. If you will please stick around, we're going to continue our discussion on the challenges and the advantages of running a business from your home.
And it's very fun to be in band, trust me. It's so much fun.
When I was an 8th grader and I saw them march, and I was like, wow, I need to be a part of this.
Our main performing group is the varsity band. That encompasses our marching band and our varsity concert band. We also have the jazz ensemble.
It's unique, so we're really lucky to have that.
I'm very methodical about teaching. I try to stay up to date because I want my students to have the best information that I can pass along to them.
He's excellent. He commands a sort of drive that we didn't exactly have.
I lead the class, but I also believe in the students self-assessing their work.
The leadership is led by the students. We lead most of the practices. It's basically just student-led.
And I think that's important for them to take that kind of ownership.
If you want to be a musician, you gain extremely important music skills, music techniques.
1, 2, 3.
There's so many opportunities for fellowship, and band is a family. And you develop that small community where you support each other, not only musically, but in many ways.
Really, without the band, the football games would be lame. Without the band, you wouldn't really have the pep rallies. The band is like a good foundation for the school spirit. If you want to join band, just do it.
I think band was the best part of my high school career.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Business. I'm your host, Kelly Bolton, and today we've been discussing running a catering business with Amy Bingham and Courtney Jones of Oh Grate. Please welcome me as I welcome Amy Bingham and Courtney Jones back via camera as we conduct our interview socially distanced. Thank you, Amy and Courtney, for being with us. I can't believe this is our last segment because I've got a lot more questions for you. We talked about this kind of catering business, catering to the needs of these families. And you talked about the partnering with these other small businesses. What is kind of next for you? I mean, do you feel like right now that this is where you want to be, this expansion into these businesses and delivering home, and now you've created these fabulous kind of stay-at-home bags, or if somebody's sick, which I think is wonderful. Do you have anything that you've kind of got in your mind that you want to do next, or is this just plenty for now?
That's a funny question. Because this is our first full year in business, and Amy and I try to meet regularly and stay on an agenda, which is tough when you're friends and moms and all that goes with it. So we did decide early on this year that we're going to really just focus on what we've been doing, I would say, for the past probably 30 to 60 days, and continue that. So we have a very small growth strategy as far as our grab and go locations. We don't want to be too aggressive with that, and just really focus on quality product and just marketing, and really just trying to really get across to our customers the difference that just this meal can make.
Well, I think that's great. I actually really love your answer because I find I get to interview a lot of people that are businesses, and your answer actually was just really what I was hoping to hear, because I think some people that are growing so rapidly like you have done, you started out with small and somebody's home, and now you have a commercial kitchen, and you've got store locations. And I think sometimes all of a sudden people get so overwhelmed with what can we do next and make it bigger and better, and then the quality of the work product actually diminishes, whether it's food or a widget that you're making. And I think that business plan to focus on quality and delivering and doing just what you're doing, I think is fabulous. I really do. And maybe you could, because maybe it's just because I'm really especially hungry right now, talking about food, I would love for you to tell us, maybe you can tell us, you talked about the chicken pot pie. So maybe tell us what makes your chicken pot pie so special. And you mentioned a breakfast casserole, which is not the normal thing that you think about. You think prepare somebody a meal and bring them a casserole and maybe a salad and some bread, but sometimes you forget that breakfast is an important meal too. So can you tell us about your chicken pot pie and maybe a breakfast casserole?
Sure. We the chicken pot pie is our best-selling item, and it's a classic chicken pot pie. And we are like, this is just a good chicken pot pie. But I think the thing that makes it special is the feeling that it creates. It will really remind you possibly of eating chicken pot pie when you were growing up. It can remind you of, your grandmother. It's so interesting how food can do that. And I think that's what's special about it. Honestly, I think that's what's kind of special with all of our food. There's something that just kind of hits home. We like to kind of create that whole feeling with the meal. And breakfast is, for busy people, especially with kids, you know how hectic the mornings are. And so we really wanted to focus on some breakfast items. We have our sausage muffins are delicious. They're so easy just to grab and go for a busy morning. And we have breakfast burritos and sausage biscuits. We have a breakfast quiche that's really good. So, I mean, we're trying to offer things that would really help someone, make their life easier. That's kind of been our whole point anyways through starting this. So we figured out early on that breakfast was just an important meal to be able to provide for people. So we love being able to offer anything that makes our lives easier.
I think that's wonderful, and I know that you have wonderful desserts too, so we can't forget desserts. And I will tell you, just as a consumer, and we probably have about 60 seconds left, I wish we could keep talking, but it is so nice to be able to have your food. It comes in, it's a wonderful home-cooked meal, and when it's over, the dishes are in the dishwasher and there's nothing else to clean. The spatulas and the pots and the pans, it's wonderful. So as kind of a closing, Amy or Courtney, would one of you tell us, if you were giving advice to somebody that said, I want to start a business, what would that advice be?
Oh, trust in the Lord and just take that leap of faith and go for it.
Well, and you know what? That is a wonderful thing to say, to take the leap of faith and follow your dreams. So thank you so much, Amy, Courtney. I appreciate both of you being here, and you will be seeing my order online very soon.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it.
Once again, I want to thank Amy and Courtney, owners of Oh Grate, for being with us today. And we thank you for tuning in. As we are almost 1 year into the pandemic, while cooking at home may have long ago lost its luster, you may want to consider taking a night off and enjoying a delicious catered meal from Oh Grate. To contact them, you can check them out at ohgrate.com. Thank you and stay safe and stay healthy. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you will join us again next month on Let's Talk Business.